Have you ever felt like you're working nonstop but somehow going nowhere? You're busy, you're tired, you're putting in the hours, but deep down there's this sinking feeling that you're stuck. People call it laziness. You start believing maybe they're right, but they're not. You're not lazy. You're just trapped in stage 2 of wealth, and no one ever taught you how to escape it. Most financial advice starts at the beginning or glorifies the end. It talks about surviving poverty or enjoying freedom. But no one talks about the messy middle, the place where you're no longer broke, but not really free. That place is stage 2. It's where most people spend their entire lives without realizing it. In this video, we're going to expose what stage 2 really is. We'll look at the signs that you're stuck, why it feels like laziness, and most importantly, how to break free. If you've ever questioned why your hard work isn't changing your life, this is for you. Because once you see the system, you can finally stop blaming yourself and start building real, lasting wealth. Most people assume wealth is earned by simply working harder or longer, but the truth is, wealth is built in stages, and each one demands a different mindset. The second stage, where most people remain stuck, is especially deceptive. It looks like progress, but it isn't. You make more money than before, but your stress is higher. You've escaped survival mode, yet freedom still feels far away. This is not failure. It's stage 2, and it has a system of its own. Let's define the stages. Stage 1 is pure survival. You live paycheck to paycheck, worrying about rent and groceries. Stage 2 is grind mode. You're earning more, maybe through a job and a side hustle. Stage 3 is strategic saving and investing. Stage 4 is asset building, money working for you. Stage 5 is freedom, where work is optional. But very few reach that final stage, and stage 2 is the reason why. In stage 2, you finally feel some breathing room. You might even take a vacation or upgrade your phone without guilt. It feels like progress, and it is compared to survival. But look closely. Your time still belongs to others. You can't slow down, you can't take breaks, you can't stop. If income stops, your life collapses. It's not freedom, it's refined dependence. This is where the trap sets in. The more you earn, the more you spend. You upgrade your car, your apartment, your habits. It's not always vanity, it's the illusion of deserving it. You think, I work hard, I should enjoy it. And you're not wrong, but you start matching your expenses to your income, and the margin for growth disappears. Comfort replaces growth, and slowly, you get stuck. Stage 2 is the illusion of motion. You're busy all the time. Your calendar is full, your inbox overflowing. But you're not moving forward, you're just circling. You feel productive, but there's no compounding effect. Every hour is a new grind. Every dollar is already spent. It's not laziness, it's a well-designed loop. Worse yet, this stage is socially praised. People admire your hustle. You're doing well by conventional standards, but late at night you feel empty. You ask yourself, is this it? Is this what success is supposed to feel like? That question alone means you're waking up, and that's the beginning of escape. You've escaped stage 1, yes. You're no longer drowning, but now you're in a cage that looks like a condo. You're not dying, but you're not free. You don't have time to reflect because you're always doing. No thinking, no strategy, just motion. And the cost of staying here is subtle. Your potential slowly fades. To build real wealth, you need to move past this stage. That doesn't mean quitting your job or selling everything. It means recognizing that this isn't the destination. It's a checkpoint, one that most never leave. But if you can name it, you can change it. And once you see stage 2 for what it is, it becomes impossible to stay there. Stage 2 is dangerous not because it's the worst. Stage 1 is worse, but because it's comfortable enough to stay forever. Most people don't even realize they're stuck. There are no warning lights, just routines, just exhaustion, just that vague feeling that life is happening to you, not for you. You wake up tired, go to bed tired, and repeat. That's not laziness. That's a symptom. You feel like you're always working, but nothing is building. Your tasks keep piling up, but your financial growth doesn't. You make more money than ever before, but you also spend more than ever. Every raise disappears into bills, lifestyle upgrades, or short-term pleasures. You're stuck in the cycle of more in, more out. And worst of all, you blame yourself for not doing enough. You tell yourself to work harder, to sleep less, to hustle more. You think discipline is the problem, but really, it's direction. You're sprinting on a treadmill, not climbing a staircase, and no one ever told you there's a difference. Productivity isn't always progress. Busyness isn't always building. Sometimes it's just noise. Another clear symptom? You can't stop. You don't feel safe resting. When you take a break, guilt creeps in. You're afraid of losing momentum, of falling behind. So you overcommit, overwork, and overcompensate. Rest becomes a luxury. Stillness feels like failure. But that's not resilience. It's a survival response disguised as ambition. You also find yourself constantly reacting, always responding to problems, never designing solutions. Everything feels urgent. Emails, bills, messages, tasks. Your time doesn't belong to you. You're operating in defense mode, not offense. You're not steering the ship. You're bailing water to keep it from sinking. At this stage, financial pressure is constant, but invisible. You're not bankrupt, but you're not secure. One emergency, one job loss, one crisis, and everything collapses. There's no financial cushion, no breathing room. You work to maintain, not to grow. And slowly, your dreams adjust to fit your income. Mental fatigue becomes a daily companion. You can't focus, can't plan, can't think long-term. Creativity fades. Passion dims. You stop learning. You tell yourself it's burnout, or age, or lack of talent. But it's none of that. It's the weight of being stuck in a system that wasn't built to free you. Finally, you feel alone. Because no one talks about this. Everyone else seems to be moving forward or pretending to. You scroll past success stories and wonder, what's wrong with me? But here's the truth. Nothing's wrong with you. You're not lazy. You're just stuck in stage 2. And now that you've identified it, you can start to escape. The cruel irony of stage 2 is that you're working harder than ever, but people start calling you lazy. You might even start to believe it. Why? Because your energy is gone. Your creativity is low. You're mentally exhausted and physically drained. But when results don't match your effort, people assume you're not trying. And that misunderstanding cuts deep. You question yourself. You wonder if they're right. But it's not laziness. It's chronic depletion. Your body is tired. Your mind is overloaded. You're running on fumes. And because nothing seems to change, you lose motivation. You still care, but caring doesn't create movement anymore. You want change, but you can't picture how. So you stop trying. Not from laziness, from exhaustion and confusion. This is how the trap deepens. You tell yourself you just need more discipline, more energy, a better routine. But nothing sticks. Because the issue isn't how you work, it's what you're working toward. When there's no clear direction or outcome, your effort feels pointless. You burn out trying to escape a maze with no exit sign. Over time, you start avoiding new challenges. Not because you're lazy, but because you're already overwhelmed. Even small tasks feel huge. Everything becomes effortful. You stop reading, stop dreaming, stop reaching. It feels like apathy, but deep down, it's self-preservation. You're not shutting down because you don't care. You're doing it because you don't know what else to do. And the worst part? You start blaming yourself. You forget how hard you've been pushing. You forget how far you've come. Instead, you focus only on where you aren't. And that internal narrative of I'm not doing enough turns into I'm not enough. This isn't a mindset problem. It's the result of prolonged imbalance. From the outside, people say, you lack ambition. They don't see the weight you're carrying. They don't see the mental calculations you do just to make rent or keep your routine running. They don't see the invisible load. They only see you paused and confuse it with laziness. That's the tragedy of stage 2. You're misunderstood by others and by yourself. This is where emotional damage begins. You internalize failure. You start to fear action. You start to fear hope. Because hope demands energy. and you don't have any to spare. So you stay still. Not because you're lazy, because you're tired of disappointment. You fear trying one more time and failing again. So you don't move, but here's the truth. You're not broken. You're just caught between effort and outcome, trapped in a stage that requires transformation, not more hustle. Once you recognize this, you can stop punishing yourself. You can start healing your energy. And most importantly, you can start choosing actions that actually move you forward. That's how the real shift begins. The first step to escaping stage 2 is recognizing that working harder won't save you. Hustle helped you escape stage 1, but it won't take you to stage 3. You're not in survival anymore. Now you need strategy. This is the shift, from execution to elevation. You stop asking, how can I do more? And start asking, what should I stop doing? That's when you begin building leverage, and that changes everything. Leverage means creating outputs that don't depend on more effort. It's when your work produces results even while you sleep. That could be a scalable business, a digital product, real estate, or investments. In stage 2, every dollar comes from your time. In stage 3 and beyond, dollars come from systems. If you don't build systems, you'll be stuck trading time for income forever. But leverage can't grow where your life is overloaded. So the next step is cutting the noise. Say no more often. Reduce your commitments. Reclaim thinking time. This feels risky at first. You're afraid to lose momentum, but slowing down is not failure. It's the path to designing a better system. Space creates strategy, and strategy creates wealth. You also need to separate income from identity. Most people in stage 2 over-identify with being busy. They confuse movement with meaning. But your worth isn't in your calendar. You don't need to prove how hard you work. You need to free your mind to think, design, and grow. That's what the next stage demands. Vision, not volume. Then, redirect your energy into building assets. Assets are anything that keep working after you stop. A rental property, an online course, a YouTube channel, a dividend portfolio. These are your escape hatches. They compound while you rest. They build even when you unplug. In stage 2, you hustle for cash. After stage 2, your assets hustle for you. Invest in skills that multiply impact. Communication, automation, delegation, high-trust sales. Learn to build, not just to do. Study systems, not just motivation. The goal is not to work harder than others. It's to create things that work for others. When you shift from producer to architect, everything changes. That's how you steps into stage 3. Another shift. Track progress, not just effort. Are your actions moving you toward freedom, or are they just keeping you afloat? If your days are filled with tasks but no traction, you're still trapped. Begin measuring value by outcomes. Did this action move me forward or just keep me busy? That one question will clarify everything. Finally, build with patience. Stage 2 burns you out because it demands urgency. Escape requires the opposite, long-term thinking. Start small, but think big. Be willing to sacrifice comfort today for freedom tomorrow. Say no to distractions. Say yes to things that compound. Stage 2 is a loop, but once you step out, you'll never want to go back. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're not unmotivated, you've just been playing a game without knowing the rules. Stage 2 rewards effort, but not freedom. It keeps you busy, but not wealthy. And now, you know why. The good news? You don't have to stay there. With awareness, strategy, and small consistent shifts, you can move forward. Toward leverage, toward clarity, toward a life where your time belongs to you again. And if this message resonated with you, even just a little, don't ignore it. That discomfort you feel, that restlessness, it's not weakness. It's the signal that you're ready to grow. And you're not alone on that path. Subscribe, because the next video might be the exact insight you need to unlock stage 3. Leave a comment below. Which part of stage 2 are you stuck in? Let's talk about it, and let's build smarter together.